I drove through some fog banks on the way out to the property today, indicating that it's that time of the year as summer draws to a close and fall is upon us. We've got those cooler nights and warmer days that give us these foggy mornings. I finished off day one with 3 posts standing and 1 row of girts in place. It's now time to get organized and bang out the rest of this first wall.
Here to get the 6x6s and 16-foot long 2x6s out of this pile.
I have the girts and the posts that I need. Time to move them over to the foundation. For those of you who may be new to the channel, it's important to know that I have milled all of these girts and these posts on this Woodland Mills 122 sawmill. I move the tractor and park it back in the lean-to shed. I need this space for building the walls. Based on some advice from a friend who is an actual home builder, I start to use my chainsaw to do these cuts for the girts. It's good enough. It's not as precise as a chop saw, but it's definitely good enough for this kind of work.
I don't know if everybody can see here, but I've got a nail hammered in to the post at the 4-foot mark, and that's where one of the rows of girts goes down the side of the building. And I do it here, the next post, and on that first post, because I'm out here by myself. I'm really trying to make this a self-build as much as possible. And I'll put in things like this, a nail here and in the other post, essentially acting like another set of hands for me. So what I'm going to do here is I've got that post that's ready to go in, that girt ready to go in. I'll put this nail in at the desired height, and then I can move forward with getting this nailed in place. What I'm going to do is put my 2x6 up on this nail, so it's at the correct height at that end. And over here, all I have to do is match it to the mark I've already got on the post here, and then nail it in.
I now start preparing the next post for the wall. But before I can stand it, I have to attach this block, as I do with each post, to the concrete foundation. I nail the braces that are attached to the posts to these blocks that allow for the post to be held securely in the upright position. It becomes much easier now to put a post in place Because as you can see here, I've got a girt that extends out from the existing wall section that's already up, and this obviously allows me to pin the post plumb in one direction without having to worry about attaching various braces. And with the level moved around to the other side of the post, it's now time to secure this brace into place, ensuring that the post is 100% plumb. Here's a perfect example. I have my nails in place, and all I have to do is lift that girt into place, and it sits perfectly. Maybe not quite perfectly, but close enough, acting like I've got an extra set of hands and allowing me to move forward and level it and then secure it in place. At this point in this series of videos concerning the pole barn build, you've seen with a certain degree of detail how I prepare the material, be it the posts and the girts, how I have set the anchors and the saddles in place, how I lift the posts in place, how I'm using clamps with the levels to free up my hands, as well as putting nails into the posts also to free up my hands. So what I'm going to do now, after I get this post in place, or as I get this post in place, I'm going to put the building action into fast forward so that you can see the entire wall going up, but again, not going into the type of detail and repeating the type of detail that you've already seen. The first 3 rows of girts are quite easy to put up, i.e. you don't need a ladder or anything. And I did not have my ladder or the correct ladder that I needed to do this work, and as you can see I just started to crawl and climb up, not crawl, but climb up the wall structure on the girts, and as you can see the wall structure itself is extremely stable. I'm marking the locations for the girts and setting the nails so that they'll stay in place while I get ready to nail them. It's the next day and we had some rain overnight. I had to drain the water off the tarps on the wood piles. I have my ladder and it's going to make the work a lot easier today. But check this out. Once I put this into fast motion, look at the skies. Look at the blues and the clouds as they go zipping by in this coming footage. So at each girt and post cross section, there are at least 4 nails and one of these structural screws. These are heavy duty structural screws and really tie the joints in beautifully. Lifting the 2x6 by 16 foot girts up the ladder was not as hard as I had imagined. And as you can see with the system that I use with the nails to hold the girt in place before I nailed it, it actually made it quite easy to do.
Well, everybody, after about 4 days of hard work, and not 4 solid days of hard work, I did a couple days last week, a couple days this week, and that's just assembly. I'm not talking about preparation and getting all of the lumber in place, and obviously it's taken me half a year to mill all the lumber. There it is. There's one wall, one framed wall up. Now I haven't completed the wall, but I'm going to do the top plate once I get the other wall up over there. I will hit both walls with a laser level and then measure them out and cut off the posts at the top so they're all the same level. I also have to put on the pressure treated girt row that's at ground level. I'm not going to do that until I get the roof on there. I can't emphasize enough, everyone, that if you've got something that you want to do and you have the means and the capacity to give it a shot, do it. Because I've been wanting to put up a building like this for years, if not decades. Other things with life, family, and other things get in the way. And I'm finally in a place where I get the chance to do this. I am not a professional builder. I do not have a trade. I just did a little research. I have some carpentry skills that I learned through my life. Again, no specific trade whatsoever. All I'm saying is get out there, give it a shot, and don't spend your life wishing that you could do something. Get out there and get it done.